Shut up and sit down.
I'm AlexofAllTrades, and this is PreWatch Thoughts. The movie of the video is It. I've seen the miniseries It a few times, but not for years. I much enjoyed it. Tim Curry is an amazing Pennywise. I've not read the book yet, even though I have delved into Stephen King, having read On Writing, Dance Macabre, Do McKee, Cell, The Gunslinger, The Drawing of the Three, and Dreamcatcher. I find King's work to never shy away from the truly disturbing images and ideas. This makes some people call him sensationalist, but I don't believe that horror, true horror, is sensationalist. King often evokes true horror, but being as prolific as he is, not all of his stories can be gems, though not all of Melville's work is worth preserving either. He was originally an adventure writer, and since Moby Dick was meant to be another adventure story at the outset and was published in serial, not all of it is worth reading either. It is not a masterpiece because that implies that it is without flaws. At least King believes in rewriting his work, so we know there is typically a bit more polish on his stories. Adaptations of his work range from absolutely amazing to absolute crap. Think The Shawshank Redemption versus Night Flyer. I bet some of you didn't even know that The Shawshank Redemption was a King story. I bet some of you don't know that The Green Mile is either. The utter lack of mysticism in The Shawshank Redemption presents the idea that it couldn't possibly be by King. And since there are so many adaptations like Night Flyer out there, many movie makers decided to take his name off the adaptations of his better work. However, since the early 2000s, he has been getting more notice in academic circles, especially as new young blood enters the arena. The old guard tended to just brush him off as a genre writer. He does, at times, become a bit repetitive in his themes and techniques, but again, when one writes as much as he does, this is bound to happen. It comes early enough that his own specific tropes aren't too expected nor as solidified in the work itself. Based on the previous adaptation, I'm not expecting psychic children to show up as they so often do in his later work. I do not know much about the actors except to say that Bill Skarsgård is Pennywise and that he said he couldn't be a new Curry, that he had to do his own thing. I agree. It would be impossible to match Curry's very specific and disturbing style. It would be better to do something different. Curry's work with his mouth and eyes is so amazing and creepy that it is still burned into my memory now, even though I haven't seen the first It in years. I want Skarsgård to do well, and I want him to creep me out. I hope he does. The only other big thing the director Andy Muschietti has done was Mama. I have seen half of this movie. Don't assume it was because I wasn't entertained. It's because the DVD from the rental place was so bad that it skipped whole chapters and eventually failed. This is obviously no way to watch a movie. To be honest, I don't remember much of what I saw, but this was back in 2013, and it is hard to maintain focus when the movie won't even play and it is midnight. From what I can remember, Muschietti seemed a fan of decaying buildings. The walls are always dirty and look like they are dying. I remember a subtlety as well. I'm not sure how that meshes with a story like It, but I am hopeful that he can pull it off. I have heard a rumor about Pennywise dancing that has me a little worried. I believe based on the trailers that this one takes place when they are kids and has none of, or nearly none of, the adult scenes. This coupled with the fact that it is a novel adaptation might mean some narration, of which I'm not a fan. I understand from the trailer alone to expect a sequel. I am excited to watch this film and see what it gives me. This was another PreWatch Thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share, subscribe, click that bell, check out my blog at empatheticwriter.wordpress.com, and follow me on Patreon for creative content and a possible shout-out on a future video.